Hi, everybody. Good morning. Just making sure that all of our apps are working here. Today, we'll be talking to Jocelyn Ucedo. She is with Remax Metro and Playa in Puerto Rico. She's also a certified international property specialist. And you know that I've been talking about that a lot lately. Last week, we had Lucia Fregoso with my Portuguese team in Lisbon. Today, we're going to talk to my team in Puerto Rico. And when I say my team, what does that mean is that I am a certified property specialist, international property specialist. It's a National Association of Realtors certification. And what does that mean is that I can help you sell your home or buy international. So right now on the Houston Association of Realtors or HAR.com, if you look under the properties that I am selling, you will find my properties in Mexico and Brazil, and hopefully very soon in some other countries. So how am I allowed to do that? I will go through and undertake some training called the Certified International Property training, the CIPS, not CIPS, CIPS, and I will then be qualified to network and to connect with the different counterparts in the different countries, such as Jocelyn in Puerto Rico. We will have Carlos coming up in Costa Rica, and we had last week Lucia Fregoso with Qualbo Banker in Lisbon. So today we are going to talk about Puerto Rico, why moving to Puerto Rico. We are live every Tuesday. Every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Central Time here in Houston, Texas. I will be going live, have been doing so for a while, with a different person in the real estate industry, because we have COVID-19 and some of us cannot travel as much or should not travel as much. We are doing a few segments on international real estate because it's just fun and I love to travel. So I'm going to go ahead and bring my very good friend Jocelyn to join us here on camera. Hey, Jocelyn. I don't know. I mute you again, I think. I clicked when too much. Okay, good morning.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Welcome, welcome. How is the weather today in Puerto Rico?
It's a little rainy actually right now, but I love that. I like it when it's raining outside and I can smell the grass. And I love it. As long as it's warm, I'm fine.
Absolutely. So I have family that is from Puerto Rico. They live in New York, Pennsylvania. And my only exposure to Puerto Rico was last year. I went on a cruise that departed from Puerto Rico. It was the first time that they were actually going from Puerto Rico. And what an amazing experience. I got to experience, you know, the culture. We did spend actually a week in Puerto Rico before the cruise. So we got to experience the culture. We walked at any time of the day and night in old town San Juan. The mofongo, oh my God, I love Puerto Rico food.
Yeah, not a place to keep a diet, but yeah, it's delicious.
It's a good diet. Everybody, I'm here today with Jocelyn Ucedo. She's with Remax Metro and Playa. That's just a nice name. I wish I could say, oh, I work for the Playa. It's just so nice. It just feels so vacation. Before we start talking about some properties that may be interesting to people that are listening to us and why should people, tell me a little bit first about yourself and how did you landed in Puerto Rico and became a real estate agent?
Well, I'm originally from New York City, and I had moved to Spain and I had gotten married and we wanted to live in the Caribbean. And eventually we ended up just moving to Dominican Republic. And I used to work in a garment center in the fashion industry, and I really couldn't find anything to do there that related to what I was doing. So I had like an interesting adventurous experience buying my own home there. And I kept meeting a lot of people in the resorts that, you know, wanted to buy property. And that's how I got into real estate. And so after 14 years, I was working with second home market there. And I really wanted to get back to the States, but I kind of liked the Caribbean lifestyle. And I was kind of torn. Do I go back to New York or, then my parents retired and they went to Puerto Rico. So I said, this is the perfect opportunity. I'll have a support system, my family's there. And I wanted to stay in the Caribbean. And that's what I did. I ended up coming here. I got my license a couple of years ago. And I love it. I mean, I'm really happy. I feel like I'm still living that Caribbean lifestyle, but I'm still in the US, in a US territory. So I still, can take advantage of that too.
Absolutely. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted you to be my guest today, that I'm so honored that you're here and made the time for this, because I like to help people like you do to find good investments, see the value, return on investment. And so I always wanted to share with people by connecting with the counterpart in the countries that we are trying to promote and help understand a little bit more. And you have a personal journey. So your parents moved there, you moved there, and then you became a real estate agent. So you went through the process yourself. So when you are helping someone going through the same, you have that personal journey. That's what I find that is one of my assets as a realtor, because I get to connect with people, given that we have moved all over the world and purchased homes in different countries. So tell me something. What do you think propelled your parents to move to Puerto Rico?
Well, my parents are Puerto Rican.
Okay.
And a lot of Puerto Ricans like to come back to the island. Like a bulk of my clients are not just American mainlanders. They're Puerto Ricans that have left the island when they were younger and they want to come back. Or like their parents were from here and they want to have a place here. So there's a lot of retirees, Puerto Ricans coming back. They always want their own home here. And my parents were one of those people. They wanted to retire back in their island, and they did. They left New York City and they came here.
Yeah, so you went back to your roots, basically.
Yes, I always wanted to come here, but I just never had the opportunity to do it.
Absolutely.
Until now.
Fantastic. So tell us a little bit about, you work for RE/MAX Metro and Playa. So that is not really in San Juan. That is where everyone knows Puerto Rico. So which side of the island are you in, and what areas do you cover?
Yeah, our main office is in San Juan, but I focus on the northeast coast. My father is originally from Fajardo, which is one of the towns in the northeast area. And so I cover Luquillo, Fajardo, Ceiba, and Rio Grande areas. I love it because it's a great place for somebody who wants to have the island life and be close to the metro area. You're less than an hour away from hospitals, medical, airport. So it's a great area, and it has a lot of attractions. Like you have the Yunque rainforest. From Ceiba now, you can take the ferries to go to the other islands in Culebra and Vieques. There's lots of beaches. It's like a really great area for a lot of activities. So if you want rental income property, it's great too. And you're just very close to the airport in the San Juan area.
Absolutely. What would you say that right now, well, before we get into more numbers, before we went live, we were talking about a few things we would like to address today. For example, the weather, the earthquakes. Everyone always associates Puerto Rico with that because of recent events. Do you want to shed some light on that?
Yeah, I mean, well, the hurricanes, we're in the Caribbean. Every Caribbean island has has this issue. Yes. We're all still standing. But as far as the earthquakes, this happened in the Southwest. My area wasn't even affected by it. Unfortunately, the media made it look like the whole entire island was flattened out, but that wasn't the case. Like everything was business as usual. We did lose electricity for like a day or two, but that was it. Homes are still standing, people are still renting, and going about. I mean, now everything's a little slower with the COVID situation, obviously, but that's like a worldwide issue. It's not just us this time.
Just Puerto Rico, is everywhere, especially in Houston, Texas. We have a lot of population, so it's very normal that we have high numbers because Houston alone has about 7 million people in one city. So when people start realizing that, and then also recently someone was asking me, how big can Texas be? So I showed them the map that you can almost fit the whole of Europe inside the state of Texas. So then people started to realize, oh yeah, the media makes it look, it does. Unfortunately, it does. But once we inform ourselves and we check, And today is so, easy. We can actually check on the web how things are. And I also know you have some really cool projects you're working on. And people are always interested in why should I move to this country? What are the benefits? What are the incentives? And what would a certain amount of dollar get me? So do you want to shed some light on that? Do you want to bring up maybe pictures of the properties that you have?
Yeah. Well, I have this really great, let me see how I can do this here.
Okay, take your time. It's okay. Share the screen and then you should be able to pull them up. There you go.
You got it?
Oh.
All right. This is one of my favorites. This is the Ocean Club at Seven Seas in Fajardo area. And it's a beautiful dated community, and you have either ocean or mountain views. And here you can get a 3-bedroom starting at 220,000. Okay, so these are great properties. For example, they don't allow short-term rentals, but they do allow rentals up to no less than 6 months. So this is great for somebody who wants to retire here, wants to be close to the ocean and have all these amenities like resort amenities. But it's great for somebody who wants to come in, maybe rent in for 6 months, get to know the area, see if it's for them before they purchase something.
And it's a 3-bedroom, 2 full bathroom for 220?
Yeah, and it's 1,300 square feet.
1,300 square feet, fantastic. Now, Puerto Rico is part of the U.S. territory, so for a U.S. citizen, it's pretty much the same as far as taxes, I would assume.
Yeah, well, now you have some great tax incentives that a lot of the mainlanders are taking advantage of. For example, Act 22, it's basically trying to attract new residents to Puerto Rico. So sometimes you can get total exemption from income taxes, and you have some property tax exemptions with some of these new acts. So it's looking to attract people basically to create new jobs for the locals, new real estate investment opportunities. So a lot of the people that are relocating are taking advantage of that right now.
Okay, so this really makes a great opportunity for you to get a retirement in basically in a retreat sort of environment. You have how far is the beach from there?
It's actually about 10 minutes walking distance at the Seven Seas Beach.
And all the shopping, hospitals.
Yeah, I mean, and it's really close. Like you can get in the car in 30 minutes, you're at the tropical rainforest. So you could spend the day there, and it's actually, the town of Fajardo is really big. It's not like a small town. So you have, great doctors here, you have hospitals, the typical stuff, the U.S. Post Office, everything you really need is here. I mean, unless you really need to go to the airport or the specialist or something, then you can go to San Juan, which is, less than an hour away. And here I also have penthouse condos. There are 4 bedrooms, and those start at $265. They're 2 levels, and basically it's the same layout as the 3-bedroom, but then upstairs is an additional bedroom with a huge rooftop terrace overlooking the oceans or the mountains. And they're really beautiful properties, spacious.
They look beautiful. So everybody, if you're watching, you're interested in knowing more, that's why we're here together. I wanted to introduce you to my counterpart in Puerto Rico. So what we'll do is reach out to me on Facebook. We'll have a preliminary talk. What are your wants and needs? We will discuss what the options are. And then together with Jocelyn, we will define which direction we can help you go. I know that Jocelyn has been doing a lot of virtual showings, so you can actually virtually show these properties if we have an interested person, correct?
Yeah, I actually have 360 tours, virtual tours for these. And I also, if somebody wants me to do a Zoom, I can also do that too, a live Zoom with them.
Absolutely. Do you have any more pictures? Now I'm hooked. I want to go there.
Let me see the other one I had here. Hold on one second.
No problem. Puerto Rico are so friendly, and a while back I had this impression that maybe we were not considering Puerto Rico as friendly as it is, and when I was there I felt safe and it was last year, Christmas, and people were so kind, so nice. The Uber drivers, if you are an Uber driver and you are in Puerto Rico, thank you so much. You guys rock, fantastic people. They are like tour guides. They tell you where to go. They have the little waters and the little candy, and it's just amazing people.
Well, I was telling you before that that happened to me in Dominican Republic too. When I went there, and a lot of people, they don't know what's going on. They're afraid because something is different. But once people come here and they get to know the people, they learn to know how everything works. It's not the same as the U.S. in some aspects. So yeah, maybe things are slower, and but for me, it's safe. I've never had any problems. I get around by myself all the time. And it's just a matter of you, like everywhere else in the world you go, you have to be careful about your surroundings.
And when I was there, someone told me, I don't know exactly the joke, but I thought it was fun. Look at that view. It was that in the Caribbean, things are not slower. We are just on Caribbean time. There is
I call it island time. Yeah, because it's a little bit slower. But once you learn how things work and where to get information and how to go about day to day, you just have to adapt basically, and things will work out.
Absolutely. And this is why we partner here, so we can provide you with the best service possible. Both Jocelyn and myself have been in your shoes if you're considering to move abroad. We have done that a few times, so we understand what the needs are. I always get the same questions. Where is the nearest restaurant? Where do I go for groceries? Where is the hairdresser? And where is the medical center? So Jocelyn is not just here to help you find a gorgeous property with you, but she will also be assisting you, and showing you the ropes. And it's a small island. It's not a big island at all, right?
No, it's not. It's about 100 by 35 miles. It's a little bit more actually, but it's small. But I wouldn't drive over to the West Coast every day. It's about 2.5 hours. But we always help people. We don't just do the sale. After the sale, we help people get their utilities turned on. We help them with a lot of other things, just trying to get settled in to make it easier for them.
Absolutely. Tell us a little bit more about that. How is your company providing the relocation services to someone that is coming, say, from Minnesota? Totally different.
Well, basically, we need to, once we find the property, we basically see what they need to do. Sometimes people are just coming in here and they want to do everything themselves and just do go through the whole adventure. Some people just come here and they want to hire us out to just set up their utilities. It's quite a wait when you go to this government offices to set up utilities. So some people don't want to deal with that. So we kind of help them through it. We put up the electricity, the water. Sometimes they need help with finding placement for the kids for school. So we try to help them with that too, if they're looking for a bilingual school, that sort of thing.
Absolutely. Just let's talk about some curiosities about Puerto Rico. The food is absolutely amazing. There is a lot of Creole influence that I love in Puerto Rico.
Yes.
African roots, a lot of African roots. I love it.
Yeah, I don't cook, but I love eating. So I'm always at the local restaurants, like meeting people, and they tell me, I ask them what's in here, but I don't even know how to make the food. But that's just something that that's one of those things that's on my bucket list that I need to do that I just never got on, but I will. And now that I have some extra time, I think I'm going to start learning how to cook some of the Caribbean food, but I love it. My mom makes rice and beans almost every day. So it's like a staple at our house.
Absolutely. I think with any Central and South Caribbean home, rice and beans is everything. And it's very Puerto Rican as well. One of the things that we notice, although you do have one or the other malls, you guys are not so much about the malls. You guys are about small businesses, support local, and they're all very quaint. So when I was walking through San Juan, I actually noticed all these small shops. We went into a lot of them, a lot of things made locally as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, Remix is also very big on helping local businesses. So we always try to promote like using the local shops, using the local food shops, the supermarkets, and just the service providers. I mean, obviously, we welcome the big stores like Marshalls and Walmart and everything too. But we really try to make sure that, you know, we're helping out the community also.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's very big there. I saw that with a lot of love with people actually doing that. So how do people get around mainly in the island? They have cars, there is good public transportation.
It's mainly car unless you're in the San Juan area. You really need to have a car here
How is the
to get
climate
around.
around? So let's address maybe not so much people from the US that are familiar with Puerto Rico, but I know that we have a lot of people in Canada and in Europe watching us, and they will at some point later today and throughout the week. Tell us a little bit about the climate in Puerto Rico.
How about the climate?
Is it warm all year round? Do you get snow?
Yes, I mean, well, in the wintertime it gets chilly for me, but it's like 70 something.
Oh my goodness.
I know, I'm like, oh my God, I'm freezing. I'm watching all the tourists at the beach. I'm like, what are they doing in the water? But I love it because it's like warm weather all year round, you know, and it's great. I mean, I just feel like I don't even own a pair of socks right now. Even just to go to the States now, I'm like, wait a second, what time of the year is it? Because you know, it's just like nice warm weather, and this is what I wanted for myself too, you know. I just felt very uncomfortable in the cold in New York and all that running around and
Yeah, absolutely. I have the same problem when I moved to Texas. I moved from Holland that is gray and cold and winter all year round, or at least 9 months out of the 12. And so, yeah, I understand. So now I have to shop when I go to a cold place. But there is also a misconception about that Puerto Rico has become very expensive. However, I heard, even though, although not cheap, it's still quite affordable to live in Puerto Rico.
yeah, I mean, keep in mind that most of the stuff is imported. But I mean, I hear a lot of people complaining about the cost of living. I mean, it just depends what kind of lifestyle you want to live. I mean, there's properties here that rent for $500 or $600 a month, and I'm talking about homes, like houses, 3-bedroom houses. Now, if you want to live in a nice high-end condominium, yeah, you'll pay $5,000 a month. I mean, it just depends really what you want to do. But it is doable. I mean, you do find places. I find plenty of local places where you could find affordable food, great home cooked meals, and it just depends if you know, do you want to get into the culture, want to try some of the local food? You know, it just depends on that too.
And one of the things that is very surprising, even though everyone does speak Spanish, English is widely spoken in Puerto Rico. Everyone speaks English pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, some people just don't feel comfortable and, you know, they kind of stop themselves, but pretty much everybody speaks English. So it's not like a place where you're going to go and you're going to be lost. I mean, you know, someone always tries to speak with you when they hear that you speak English. And that even happens to me when I speak. All of a sudden, they start talking to me in English. I'm like, wait, I speak Spanish. But I guess they hear some kind of accent or something.
Yeah, absolutely. When we were there, they were very shocked that I spoke Spanish fluently and that I'm Portuguese, and then I was speaking to, because my husband and I was speaking English all the time. But basically today we wanted to bring to you Puerto Rico. So if you're considering to move abroad, stretch your either retirement money, because I believe that right now with so many, not wanting to label people, but the baby boomers, let's put it like that. We have a lot of people that are retiring right now are considering retirement, and their retirement may not go as far in continental US as it would be in other places. So I do get approached by a lot of people right now wanting to move outside of the US. They either want to go to Europe, or they are looking to Costa Rica a lot. We have a lot of people going to Costa Rica. But for me, I like to bring other things, other perspectives, such as what about considering Portugal? Why not Puerto Rico? And like you said, there is a lot of Puerto Ricans in the US, especially New York, that are looking to retire. They came here when they were young, or they've been here for a generation. Now the kids, they want to do that. So I wanted to introduce Puerto Rico, where the cost of living is still affordable compared to many other countries, and with continental US, different states. But as well, to Jocelyn, that is our local expert there. She is from the culture, she speaks the language, she knows her area, and she can definitely help you find that dream home in the Caribbean, yet in the US territory, if that is your comfort zone. Jocelyn, I'm so beyond grateful that you were my guest today. I know we can stay
Thank you.
and talk about Puerto Rico, but I just wanted to give everyone a teaser, and if they are interested, they can certainly reach out to us. So Jocelyn, would you like to share something with people watching us today before we go?
Yeah, also, I wanted to let you know that we also have the same products for financing that you have back at home. So we have FHA, VA loans, everything, same thing, conventional loans.
Absolutely. So that is very important. So if you're purchase, even if at the beginning as a second home, so you start transitioning, that lending aspect is there. Thank you so much. So people can reach out to you directly and you can connect them with
with a local lender. It has to be a local lender in Puerto Rico.
Okay, fantastic. And you have all of that information.
Yes.
Fantastic. All right, Jocelyn, if someone wants to connect with you, where can they find you?
Well, they can contact you also, or they can reach me at my website. It also always has the updated information, which is Puerto Rico-realestate.com.
Very good. I like that. Puerto Rico-real estate.com. I
wanted to separate it a little bit.
I know. It's okay. I got it. Well, thank you so much for your time. I wish you a wonderful day. I'm sure you will have one in Puerto Rico. I mean, you live in an island. You live in the Caribbean.
I know, right?
Thank you so much, Jocelyn.
Thank you. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.